So one of my observations that I've made recently by seeing people across the board is that I think we are all in the process of being traumatized. This is not a trauma that has happened that we're trying to deal with or one that is coming. We are in the process of being traumatized. A simple definition of trauma is when you get in more stimuli than you can digest. So getting in more sensory stimulation than can be processed by the system. And the longer that carries on for, the greater the trauma. So like with a car crash or a tsunami, you can imagine that there's just too much information to take in. And the psyche cannot process that. So the defense mechanisms kick in inevitably. This corona pandemic that we're facing is simply, from what I can see, a slow motion car crash. We've got no idea of the velocity we're traveling at, or the terrain we're covering, or just how brutal the impact is going to be at the end of all of this. We don't know whether we'll be bruised or very injured, or whether we are going to be dead. And for most human beings, the stress of not knowing something so critical is just too much to manage. We are in the process of being traumatized. I think this fact, the fact that we don't know, that we so have no idea of where this is going, in addition to the factual information we're getting and the fake news that we're getting, adds up to more stimuli than any human being can process in real time. So I really think that we need to recognize that we're in the process of being traumatized. We're all going to respond in ways that will include our defenses. And some will deny what's going on, some will blame, some will try and seize back control by trying to know everything. Some will be active, some will be passive. The point is that some of these defenses are very useful and some of them are not very useful. But importantly for me is that we all recognize that we are all responding from a slightly more primitive part of ourselves during this time. Can we be compassionate to ourselves, and can we be compassionate to those around us? That's around opening the heart, and that's the one point. The other point that I want to make is that you can be sure that you are in the process that is deeply disturbing and that you will not control in the short term. There's no ways that we can control it. So is there a way that we could possibly learn to walk with this uncertainty? That we can acknowledge the discomfort, to link with Sonia's narrative around normal. There is no normal here. So is there a way that we can possibly realize that discomfort is what's normal, rather than trying to get away from it and fight the feelings? Because I think we'll do more damage that way. We'll create more trauma by trying to get away from the feelings. Oh. So can we fight the virus rather than fight the feelings? And for me, I think a tip would be, can you find just a moment in every day to sit with yourself, as a leader especially, to sit with yourself and reflect on your true feelings about what's going on, to not run from them or fight them, but just acknowledge them. I think that will serve us in a big way.